What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to some more Star Citizen. So I decided I'm probably not going to continue the IAE videos just because I'm not enjoying doing them, to be honest with you. And everybody else and their mother is covering IAE. So you know what? We're just gonna leave it as is and go from there. But today I'm bringing you an awesome video that I've been working on for a couple weeks, doing a lot of testing on. And I also, with the patch that dropped with IAE, the Sabre has been buffed. Yeah, I know. It's not something that a lot of people would notice, I'll be honest with you. But the Sabre has been buffed. The emissions or the signature reduction of the Sabre has been beefed up from 30% to 35%. So now the cross section, the IR, and the EM signatures can go lower than they used to be. One of these fights, if not two of them, that I'm going to show you a little bit is before the patch, but I think two of them are after the patch. But the Sabre has been buffed, and I've been working on a stealth ambush fighter build, which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, kind of brings in some salt. And it's because it's also a little broken. I'm gonna do an updated video once I change some things out, but I wanted to bring this video to you. But this is my Sabre stealth ambush fighting build. And I've had a lot of success from it, but I've also got a little bit of salt from it as well, like I said. But what I am running, and I'm going to throw a link to the Urkel page where I have my build. What I'm running is an FR66 shield, a Mirage shield, and it's a hybrid build. So FR66 shield and a Mirage shield. I'm running a Voyage Quantum Drive like I always do for my size 1s. I am running a JS300 power plant and a Slipstream power plant, and I'm running 2 Snowblind coolers. So it's a mix of grade A military and grade A stealth components. The weapons are also hybrid as well. I got 2 Panthers, 2 energy weapons, 2 laser repeaters, and 2 ballistic Gatling guns, Mantis GT215s, I believe they are. And I'm having good success. Missiles I am running, and this is where it's broken. I am running 16 size 1 task force missiles. Now, while I was doing the testing for this build, I did not, and I genuinely did not know that these missiles were broken. They are very difficult to flare off. And I didn't know that until the last fight you're going to see in this video. I did not know that until somebody in chat said, hey, you know, those missiles are broken. And I felt a little bad, I'm not gonna lie. But it works as of right now. So the idea behind this build is to basically get my signature as low as possible and still be able to fly in as fast as possible and do as much damage as possible as quickly as possible to finish the fight before it even starts, essentially. Now, I still got into some drawn out engagements, but not nearly as long as you think. So it has been really effective. So the way I've done this build, I initially was going to do a little bit of voiceovers while the fight was going on, kind of like how Avenger 1 does it. But honestly, doing voiceovers after the fact while I'm trying to watch a recording and then talk about it and try to get that those timings lined up sucks. So I might have to practice that a little bit. So I'm going to tell you basically what I'm doing right here. On the MFDs on the ship, I got my heat MFD and your power MFD, like you see your power triangle, right? There's a stealth button on the power MFD with the power triangle that you hit, put your power down to basically minimum where you can get the power to your ship, but you're not using all of it. And then I hit the suppress IR button on the heat MFD, which helps me reduce my EM and IR signatures. Cross section you cannot adjust, obviously, it's the size of the ship. But it also gets that passive reduction from the 35% cross section reduction. Also with the 35% EM reduction and the 35% IR reduction. I've gotten my EM and IR down to about 3,500 standing still, which is awesome. So we engage stealth like that, and I find a target. And I've been mainly doing player bounties, and I did a couple fights with Twidget as well. So I would go to my target, and I will make sure my shields are turned off, reducing that signature even more. And when I get there, I full burn. You know, with doing stealth with the Eclipse, you kind of crawl in a little bit. It's you go slow and you be patient. In the Sabre, I am a full burn. At a full burn, with those reductions, I believe it's my IR, one of those two, it's my EM. It is my EM signature, sorry. That is still about 4,500, which is low, even at a full burn. I'm not doing boost. I'm not hitting that boost button. I'm just full throttle. And I get in close. And once I get to within that range of them being detecting on my EM and IR signatures, I lock my missiles and I fire. And by the time I fire, I'm close enough where I'm able to get guns on rapidly. So missiles are out. And since their task force ones are a little broken, they hit and I get guns on, lasers and ballistics, just rapid damage really quick, and I try to pass them. Once I do that, I go for another pass. I try to get some distance on him, depending on the ship. Try to get some distance on him so I can basically rinse and repeat until he's dead. But I also have found out in some ships, you have to really stay in the fight. So once you engage, kind of turn really quick and just get more guns on, get more guns on, get more guns on, especially with the Hornet. The Hornet is where this build kind of struggles, I'll be honest. But that's pretty much the premise. It's get your signature as low as possible, and get in really fast, and do as much damage as possible, and end the fight quick, and then hopefully you get some salt and chat, which is also hilarious. So that's the whole premise. I'm going to show you about 4 examples of the fight. There's one example that's early in the build before I finalized it, but I believe the other 3 is the final build in its full glory, and I gotta say, this thing is absolutely nasty. I will, like I said, I will do an updated video when I test out, or when I figure out a different kind of missiles that are a little bit more fair, just because I don't want to use something that's broken. I want to find a build that's viable for long term, essentially. But here's some of these examples. I got an RSI Scorpius at Brios currently right now. Locking them up, missiles away. If they would fire. You can help me out. I gotta gain some distance. Throwing chaff. Alright, I gimped that Scorp pretty good. He's red on the wings and on an engine. Scorpius is down. He's moving. Moving in. Done deal. That was fast. Yep, I'm trying. Oh yeah, you weren't kidding about close to whiteout conditions. Ooh. Damn, that was I think we got it down, Twitch. So in this last fight, I wanted to show an example of re-engagement because I already fought this guy once before he jumped out to repair because I hurt him pretty bad. So I come over here and I wait for him to take off. It looks like he's coming towards me. All right. I see him. And there we go. I just waited for him, waited a little bit for him to get an armistice. I'm going in. Missiles are primed. I just got to get that lock. I decided to bank off a little bit here because he already has guns on me. I wanted to break, at least get the nose off of him. Or off of me. And launch missiles, get some missile hits on. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that red right there. Launch a couple more, get some more. Now, he's got a gunner in that hurricane, so he's hurting me. So I use chaff to try to break the lock. I'm basically trying to get as many missiles on him as possible to get as much damage in as possible so I can close the distance, get guns on, and finish him. I got a couple missile hits there. Locked him back up there again. I launched a little early, but that's okay. He's hurt. He's definitely hurt. Launch my last two. And boom. So, those 4 fights I showed you, plus the 2.5 during the intro that were kind of quote unquote B-roll, were some of my best examples I've had. Now, when I recorded that footage, I was still perfecting the method. I'm gonna be honest with you. So there was a lot of mistakes, but it works. Like, even when I'm making mistakes, I can get enough damage in, especially with those missiles, that I can just slaughter. And it's absolutely insane. I have lost some fights, don't get me wrong, and I didn't show any losses, but I have lost some fights. Because when I go to when I went to go ambush like a player bounty, they have buddies around. When it's a 1v3 or a 1v2, when you're running stealth, if you focus your primary target, yeah, you can still get them, but that second guy is getting guns on you, getting firepower on you, and basically he can finish you essentially. The way this build is, it's a quick in and out, quick ambush and kill and get out, because you got ammo to worry about, and once you're out of missiles, you're hindered. So if you're in a fight and you lose your ballistics, you lose your missiles, you only got those 2 Panthers to fight with. Yeah, there's some people that could probably do it, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people, but you are at a severe disadvantage when you are facing another person right after you kill your main target. So quick in and outs, but this build is absolutely nasty. You can ask anybody in the Discord, you can ask Twidge, you can ask Chief, you can ask Wolf, any of those guys, of how just jazzed I was that I was figuring this out and getting this build and really kind of min-maxing this thing to really get it to where I wanted to do, to show that the Sabre is effective and not in the ways that people think. Stealth works in the Sabre. It gets you close enough to your target where you can get enough, like a mountain of DPS in really quickly and get the kill. Is it the greatest dogfighter in the world? No, I've done it. I've gotten kills with it, but I've gotten more kills with the Sabre in the past few weeks of working on trying to get footage for this video and testing out this build than I ever have in the Sabre. And I want people to know that the Sabre can be effective in the right ways. But I hope you guys found this video informative and enjoyed it, and as jazzed up as I am about the Sabre being a powerhouse. If you did, go ahead, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will do an updated build video once I figure out a different kind of missile to go with it. So I will see you guys in the next video and around the verse. Alrighty, have a good one.